Thank you Aquasana for sponsoring today's video. Hi everybody, what's going on? It's your girl Merle, and today we are going to be hanging out and making some viral TikTok high protein meals. Why? Because they just look so good, and I frankly want more ideas for high protein meals that I can incorporate in my day-to-day life. There are so many incredibly talented creators out there that are just churning out some amazing content, and when I see them pop up on TikTok, I think that looks really good, but is there any way that it tastes as good as it looks? I need to know. So we're gonna be trying 3 different recipes today. One is by Pt.2, who you guys probably know from Scrappy Cooking, the Scrappy Cooking series, an absolute legend. She's always showing really fun ways that you can eat plant-based and also ways that you can use your scraps so that we're not wasting as much food. So today we're gonna be making this gorgeous salad. Yes, I said salad. If you know me, you know I'm not a big salad person, so I'm pretty harsh on the salads when I try them. We also have Soph's Plant Kitchen, who is someone who I've tried a few of her recipes before. She has the ability to make me hungry even if I just ate. This recipe is a high protein sweet potato, tofu, and chickpea curry. We're gonna be trying another one from Soph's Plant Kitchen. This is a high protein pasta, and she's using lentils and walnuts as like the vegan meat, but mainly just as the vegan protein source. Now, of course, when it comes to pasta, you always have the option to use red lentil or chickpea pasta or some other high protein pasta. For the sake of this, I'm just gonna use orecchiette. I like the way they look. They have 8 grams of protein per half cup. That's not bad. I am always looking for ways to get more protein. Let's see if these dishes are as good as they look. I'm in the mood for pasta. So let's do it. This is basically our boiling station is going on over here. We've got pasta, we've got lentils, and we're going to boil our walnuts for about 10 minutes, which is interesting to me. Now, I'm gonna break these walnuts down. I'm gonna chop them up a bit more. So the protein breakdown for this is 33 grams of protein in the lentils, 35 grams of protein in the pasta, 6 grams of protein in the walnuts. So it comes out to around 37 grams of protein per serving. Now, in her recipe, she didn't use a red lentil or chickpea pasta. I think she just used standard pasta. I wanna crank up the protein even more. This sauce that she has here looks so good. It'll probably be something that'll make me like the red lentil pasta even more. Now I've already got my lentils over here boiling. I'm gonna drain the lentils and I'm gonna use that same water to boil our walnuts. I'm just gonna take a scoop of the boiling water from the pasta and I'm gonna pour it over our walnuts, because why not just use what we've already got? And we're gonna let these soak for about 10 minutes. We're gonna be using cremini mushrooms. In the video she used chestnut mushrooms. Cremini or baby bella mushrooms should be a totally fine substitute in both texture and flavor. Chestnut mushrooms are more meaty in texture, and baby bella mushrooms can do the same thing. We are going to get a few cloves of garlic. This is an action-packed recipe, apparently. Something that's good to know is that when you're mincing garlic, if you add a little sprinkle of salt, it will help to both draw the moisture out and it'll help to break down the garlic so you can mince it even more and much faster. Ideally, you want to use a nice coarse salt, and that'll yield the best results. That rhymes. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. So we're gonna use half of a yellow onion. We're gonna dice this up. Now, I'm gonna wipe down my station and we're going to get a nice big old pot and we're gonna start building this out. And also our soaked walnuts are ready to be drained. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They literally just look like a little teeny hat. Me lady. I'm gonna spritz a little bit of olive oil over the pasta so it doesn't stick together while it's patiently waiting for the rest of this dish to come together. Something I like to do with mushrooms, I just like to get in there and just crumble with my paws. Crumble them up. You don't have to, but you can. I like it for certain recipes because it produces these nice big chunks, chunky bits. As you can see, this is releasing a good amount of water here. So our mushrooms are gonna cook down as they're releasing that water. And then once they've released it, they're gonna start to get more tender and take on a little bit more of a meatier sort of texture. This is starting to look really good and develop some beautiful crispiness. All that caramelization is gonna come together as we progress on this journey. So don't you worry. This is in good shape. Now I'm gonna add in my garlic, sun-dried tomatoes, and smoked paprika. All right, we wanna stir this up about 3 more minutes. I don't want to scrape those bits off until we've got a liquid in there so that we can let the liquid catch the burnt bits. I don't want them stuck to my spoon. Then I'm going to add in some tomato paste. Man, it smells so good. All right, now we're going to add in our tomatoes, our walnuts, our lentils. I want to crush some of these tomatoes. Some salt, some pasta water in there. Hey there. Made it through. Now I want to say something. I altered the recipe slightly because I may have added too much pasta water. And by that I mean I definitely did. No worries. This actually worked out anyway because the recipe calls for cashew parm, as if I just have that laying around. So instead, we fixed 2 issues at once. I put in like 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast to thicken the sauce and to get more protein and to get a little bit of a cheesy hit. But that right there, let's see, 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. There's 16 tablespoons in a cup. There are 8 tablespoons in a 1/2 cup. That's 20 grams of protein. All that is left to do is serve. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm so excited to try this. Oh my god. The lentils and then the walnut, lightly boiled walnut, surprised me. I'm always looking for ways to sneak lentils in more, and also, of course, like getting some nice healthy fats in this too. You're getting some carbs from the lentils and the pasta. Boom, boom, boom. We're getting like 3 different bites here. We've got the nice firmer chew from the walnut, and then we have the softer chew from the lentil, and then the tender chew from the mushroom. It did take a lot of work, I will say that. I'm sweating. To serve as like a nice dinner for friends or whatever, or for just eat the whole thing yourself, great. And you know what? This makes a lot. This is really delicious. Highly recommend you try it. Thank you again, Soph, for your wonderful recipes as always. It's hydration time. I have this giant canteen / improvised melee weapon / emotional support water bottle, which used to take me forever to fill until I found today's sponsor, Aquasana. Aquasana offers filtration systems that provide maximum contaminant reduction while leaving beneficial minerals like potassium, calcium, and magnesium in the water. Aquasana's all-new clean water machine instantly transforms ordinary tap water into clean, extraordinary water at the push of a button for 300 gallons. Traditional pitcher filters use gravity to slowly trickle water over filter granules, but Aquasana's clean water machine uses power for super fast and effective filtration, delivering an 8-ounce glass of clean filtered water in 8 seconds, and tackles 15 times more contaminants than the leading pitcher. One clean water machine filter lasts up to 7.5 times longer than the leading pitcher filter. I love that the Aquasana's filter components are engineered for minimal waste. See, this tastes like the tap water from my mom's house in the middle of nowhere. It's like crisp and delicious, and there's no chlorine. So if you are ready to start drinking healthier, tastier water, and you're ready to ditch the single-use plastic bottles, scan the QR code or click the link in my description to get 55% off. All systems $49 and up, plus free shipping. Thank you so much, Aquasana. Let's get back to the video. Now it's time to make plant-use, protein-packed salad. We're gonna break these into smaller florets. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna put in here are some chickpeas. We've got some quinoa here that I cooked ahead of time that we're gonna be using, about 1/3 of a cup of quinoa. And then we're gonna cut up a sweet potato. We just wanna get it into nice little cubes. And we can add all of these. They're cut into like this size cube. We can add all of these into our bowl. Now we are going to add all of our spices in here. And I'm gonna just go ahead and mix them up a little bit first. We're gonna add in a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're gonna just mix this up. So now we've got these all mixed together. We're going to put them in our baking sheet. This is a non-stick baking sheet, but you can put down parchment paper too if you want. Wow, this looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to add the salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. And I've got my oven preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 204 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna toss this in the oven and I'm gonna let these roast. In the meantime, we're gonna make our high protein tofu pesto dressing. We're gonna get a clove of garlic, 1/4 cup of water, our tofu that we cut up. So she said a cup, but I'm gonna do a whole block. So then I'm gonna add a little bit more of all of the other ingredients. Handful of fresh dill, handful of parsley. I'm gonna put a ton in there because I just want all the greens. Some nutritional yeast. We're going to juice a lemon. Love that, we're juicing the whole lemon. And then some salt. And now we're gonna blend it up. Whoa! Now all that's left to do is assemble. We've got our dressing, we've got our roasted veggies, we've got some pickled onions here, which she said was optional, but not for me. And I've got some avocado, some cucumber slices, and our cooked quinoa. So now we just put it all together. Look at all of these beautiful colors. This is so vibrant. It's beautiful. And the nice thing about this is that we have so much more of these roasted veggies. Let's put our dressing on. That's the last thing we need to do. I'm gonna be aggressive with the dressing. It looks so good. Wow, that is so beautiful. This is just so many healthy things packed into one beautiful package. One thing I wanted to add to this, and I think I'd add to this next time, is some green onion. We'll just add a nice little like kind of oniony, garlicky flavor. It's time to try it. That's really delicious. It's so refreshing. This is gonna add years onto your life, probably. All the macros are covered. I don't even really like quinoa that much, usually. I'm not a huge quinoa person, but I like it in this. This is amazing. The sweet potato is so nice in it, bringing in like the notes of sweetness along with the pickled onion. There's just so much flavor in this. I feel like that's the thing I don't normally get in a lot of salads. Or when I think of a salad, I do eat salads occasionally. I've been trying to eat them more. But like, wow, this is really above and beyond. Is it a salad if it's got grains in it? That's my question to you. Please tell me, is this a grain bowl or a salad? As far as salads go, this is delicious. It's a little difficult to make, but I like that it's kind of a meal. It's basically a meal prep kind of meal. Easiness to make, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Flavor, 8.7 out of 10. And that's mainly because I'm not a big grain bowl / salad person. Usually, it's got so many bases covered here. You got your healthy fats, you got fiber, you got carbs, you got it. You got it. You want it, you got it. You see it, you like it, you want it, you got it. All right, let's move on to the next recipe. I took a nice little break to continue snacking on this and eat the whole entire thing. The sweetness is really nice in here. Maybe even chop up, micro chop up some little pieces of dates, because the sweetness with it is just delightful. Don't you think, TT? I love you, TT. Can I help you? Do you want something to eat? Is this you politely asking me for something to eat? Okay. I know I'm wearing a different outfit, and that's because it's a different day. I ate that whole salad and then I was too full to make this next thing. We are going to be making another recipe by Soph's Plant Kitchen. I'm very excited about this one because it's another like delicious sort of curry dish. And I feel like these are the dishes I find myself making most realistically, like most often, just because it's a great way to get a lot of flavor, a lot of veggies, easy to sneak some protein in there. I'm a big fan. This recipe is a high protein sweet potato, tofu, and chickpea curry. Part of the creamy sauce involves roasting some butternut squash. Now, I've made the mistake of getting squash hands in the past, and I'm not gonna do it again. I've got some biodegradable gloves, okay? These are compostable. I just wanna make that point. I'm not using latex gloves. I made the mistake, if you go ahead and just start cranking away at a butternut squash, you're gonna get a film from like the nectar of the squash on your hands, and then you're gonna feel like you have a second skin, and it's unsettling to say the least. Before I slice up my butternut squash, let's go through the protein breakdown of this. 15 grams of protein in the chickpeas, 18.85 grams of protein in the silken tofu, 30 grams of protein in the cashews, 42 grams in the firm tofu. We're using two different kinds of tofu here. 8.8 grams in the nutritional yeast. In other spices and vegetables, less than 5 grams. So a total of 95 grams of protein, and that's around 3 servings, so around 31 grams of protein per serve. So we're gonna start off by, you can do the rocking method here. Rock and roll your butternut squash. Let it kind of do the work for you. Gravity, well, wow, that slid right into my little compost pail. Butternut squashes are always a pain in the ass. Just gonna get this nice rocking motion again. The problem is it can be slippery, so you just wanna be really, really careful with your hands. I hate working with butternut. You can also just order pre-cut. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna do this just to get that little stem off at the bottom. This is why I almost never work with butternut squash, but that wasn't so bad. Now, we're only using half of a butternut squash. I'm gonna just quickly take these seeds out. This is a good spoon for this. It's thick, thick spoon. There we go. All right, and there we have it. We have our squash. Now we're gonna cross cut our squash. Should just help to get a more even cook. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna take this. We're gonna just use one sheet pan to roast all of our veggies today, which is great. Take these gloves off, compost those. Obviously, if you have just a backyard compost, that's not gonna do the trick. You need like a compost facility for it to be biodegradable. I try to avoid using gloves like that, just like avoiding using single-use things at all costs as I'm peeling plastic off of this cauliflower. All right, so it says half a head of cauliflower. I'm actually gonna roast the whole thing because this is a small one. I'm gonna just break down this cauliflower into some little florets. Ideally, you want something like this size. I know I said I'm gonna use the whole thing, but actually I realized then the seasonings are gonna be off, so I don't wanna mess it up. Then she said we're gonna cut up 2 to 3 small sweet potatoes. So I don't think she removed the skin in her video either, but I pretty much never remove the skin because I like the taste and also it's just extra work. Add them to our bowl. For the spices, cumin, coriander, little paprika, and cinnamon. Oh, I realized now that she didn't put all the spices together. She gave the spices for each individual vegetable. But they're the same spices, it's just different amounts, so I'm not gonna overthink it. Olive oil on there. We're gonna add some smoked paprika. Oh no, she has slightly different spices for each. Sorry, there was no method, like there was no list of steps for this recipe, so I'm kind of just going off the ingredients in the video. Yeah, she's got different spices for each of them, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I think I'm gonna just put them all together, because that's realistically what I would do. So we're also gonna use some turmeric, ground coriander, ground cumin, a little bit of cinnamon, salt, and of course some black pepper. And now we are going to mix these all together. The spices smell so good. I'm gonna go back to my initial instincts and just toss all this cauliflower in there, because why not? Bring this over here. Add some olive oil on our butternut squash. Add a little salt. And then we can just pour these veggies out into the pan. Oh, now we are going to roast these for, again, there weren't any instructions, so I'm gonna roast that for about, I wanna say 35 minutes at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 204 degrees Celsius. And in the meantime, we are going to marinate our tofu. This recipe has a lot of steps as well. Now you understand why I didn't want to do it back to back. This might blow your mind. Look at this. Boom. It has wheels. A tablespoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, a half a teaspoon of curry powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/3 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Get in there with our little paws and mix that up. Probably didn't need to do this with my hands either. Now we are, oh, the curry powder. That's a learning I'm taking away from this right away. Marinating with curry powder for my tofu. Wow. So now we're gonna put this in the fridge and let this sit and absorb this delicious marinade. Let's move on to building out our curry. Okay, so I took these out of the oven after about 45 minutes. These are ready to go, but this is not. So I'm gonna take these out. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to put these on separate sheet pans, but it is less dishes and we're already using so many dishes. So I'm gonna put this back in for more time. In between the scenes, we are putting in work, okay? I just had to freaking grate some ginger. I had to peel and grate the ginger. I had to assemble all of our spices. I had to dice an onion, mince some garlic, juice a lemon. No doubt it's gonna be delicious, but holy moly, this is so many dishes. We're gonna toss in olive oil, red onion. We're gonna cook that down. Since there is turmeric in this recipe, I'm gonna use a wooden spoon that already got stained with turmeric. That's looking good. I'm gonna add in our grated ginger and garlic. Our spices. These are whole tomatoes. She said I could use crushed tomatoes, but I have these left over from her other recipe and I want to use them up, so I'm going to use this. Chickpeas, ½ liter of vegetable stock. I'm going to crush these tomatoes, these whole tomatoes, so that they release their juices and they break down more easily. I'm going to bring this back up to a simmer here and continue to break down the tomatoes. And then I'm going to finally remove our roasted butternut squash. I'm going to scoop out the flesh because we're going to use that for, oh yes, there's more, our creamy sauce that we're going to be drizzling in this. She also said that we can add a red chili pepper. I'm going to add red chili flakes. This butternut squash has to be done by now. Okay, it's ready. One thing I'll say from this is in the future, I would recommend actually cutting your butternut squash into like planks or something, so it doesn't have to take so long to roast the whole thing. We have acquired the butternut squash. Now I'm gonna pop the tofu into the oven. Now we're going to blend up our creamy sauce. Our tofu is ready. It's time to combine, people, finally. That was some journey. We worked overtime for this. This took me like 2 hours minimum, maybe 2.5. I think yeah, 2.5 hours. Also because I'm filming, so let's keep that into account, but woo, this is so much work. My sink is full, my stove is full, my blender's full, this pan is full. 0 to 10, as far as ease of cooking and mess, I'm gonna give it a 2, because that was a lot. I'm just hoping it's as good as it looks. 2 hours isn't that long. That is so good. This is deluxe mode. Wow. It's creamy. It's got nice acidity to it. It's got some really nice sweetness from the cinnamon and the sweet potato. Nice bite to it from the cauliflower and the chickpeas. This is incredibly flavorful. I mean, this is kind of a dream as far as a huge meal, because the fact that you have so many leftovers from this, like this I think is only gonna get better like tomorrow, you know? Oh, that's the bread. I wanted to have some bread with it. The flavor on this is fantastic. It is really, 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 really good. Oh, the tofu is so good too. That tofu marinade is fantastic. Nutrient packed, protein packed, delicious. Took so much time and very messy. So special occasion dish. This is in the special occasion dish category for me, but I'm really happy I did that because now I get to eat it. I am sweating. I need to say thank you to today's creator, Soph's Plant Kitchen and Plant You. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you guys saw something on here you'd like to make. You know what to do. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. And please let me know which recipe you'd be the most excited to try. Let me know if you try any of them. If you enjoyed hanging out, all of my socials are linked in the description below. We have more high protein videos coming up. We're gonna be doing some sheet pan meals, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go wipe my sweat mustache off. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna procrastinate on these dishes as long as I can. Bye. Oh God. Oh, there's a fly. Okay, not coming near my food, I'll tell you that much. Not after I worked for this. I worked so hard for this. Okay, goodbye.